you know, some great music in the past, man. All ages, all eras.
We're just chilling, hanging out in the alley in Flash Alley with Saké.
My name's Saké.
Nice.
But anyways.
So when did you get it? Like, at what age did you get into like hip hop or like graffiti or what was the big influence? Like the movie? Like I mean, for me, it was like breaking something like that.
The year was '82. I saw this movie called Dreams Don't Die.
Dreams Don't Die.
Yep.
Sick. What? Tell us a little about that. I like hearing about like old stuff they can't find and like.
Yeah. That's a great. It's super cheesy. It's like, you know, you have a writer and then a cop. Cop befriends
New York?
the writer, and then there's a drug person.
Okay.
Which is, you know, at that time, yeah, that shit was really happening. There was drugs and all that stuff, but it was just kind of a corny line. But all the artwork was done by Dondi.
Oh,
So
sick.
it's super legit. You know, at the time I didn't know that. You know.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like the subway yards where they filmed it at was the actual yard that they filmed Wild Style in. It was like a movie set yard. Like they allowed movie productions to come in and film and stuff like that. So
sick.
It was pretty cool.
Gotta look that up for sure. So sick. That was what year was that?
1982.
82.
And I had earlier encounters with writing beforehand, but it was just background noise. I didn't know what it was. But my first actual exposure to real hip hop was seeing a TV show called 2020. It was a pretty popular show back in the day, and they had a show about, they called it rap. And but they showed like, you know, Rocksteady. I didn't know at the time, but it was Rocksteady Crew. They showed, you know, riding, subways, all that stuff. That was my first exposure to it.
And that was here in San Diego. Was there like a scene here in San Diego?
Nothing. The only thing that was happening was locking.
Okay.
Like the Sunshine Lockers from San Diego, and then popping. But, you know, that's people are probably going to hate me for this. That's not hip hop. That's West Coast dance.
West Coast, yeah. It could be like Latino funk.
That's the stuff that was going on. Yeah. Music-wise, too, like kids were into soul music. People who were mostly into soul music were the black kids. Mm-hmm. Mexican kids were into oldies, pretty much. If they're cholo or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? White kids, mostly
Sabbath.
Rock, punk, new wave.
Totally.
You know, that's me.
So when did it kind of like blow up? Because like San Diego did kind of develop a hip hop scene, right? At one point.
Yeah, there was a small amount of kids pre-Breaking One, the movie, and Beat Street. So there was just a select few. Most of them were Filipino kids, and myself, and just a small select few. My friend Richie. After Breaking, and then especially Beat Street, that's when it got trendy, and that's when it kind of blew up. Mm-hmm. You know, people were breaking everywhere.
What was that, like late 80s, 87?
No, 84.
84, okay,
84,
mid-80s.
yep.
Okay, so just a few years after your kind of exposure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I don't know, this is kind of just throwing random stuff, because I don't know if you're not associated with Tribal, but like you knew those guys.
Oh, I was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just kind of, I did you.
Funny story. I don't know if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to. Please.
So the Reader did a story on the riders in San Diego, and this was 80, maybe 89, but the article was released in 90, I believe. Anyways, so, you know, there's a story, you know, Buster was on the front cover of the Reader, San Diego Reader, and it talked about the yard we were painting at the time on California Street, right by the airport. Anyways, so that was a big article. Went out, boom. So I was painting down at which we called, it was San Juan Street, but we called it what yard? Shit, it was right by the trolley tracks. So in the interview, most of the yards that we're painting at that time were on the trolley tracks, or the train tracks. I don't even think the trolley went through there yet. Yeah, the trolley did not go through there yet. It was just the
Santa
Amtrak
Fe.
line. Anyways, so the yard I was painting at was behind a hotel. I can't remember
Not the TDK yard, but
no. Further
in downtown.
Further
downtown.
south.
Okay.
Yeah, right by where Caltrans is right now.
Oh, okay.
There's all these bridges.
Yeah. Old Town, like Old Townish.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Old Town. Thank you.
Wino Pits. I used to call it. Like, at one point, it was called Wino Pits.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Those walls right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was painting there, and this cat rolls up on me, and he's like, "Oh, talking." And he's saying how he read the article, and he's like, "I've been looking for you guys. like I've been going to this place, this spot, whatever." And then he approaches me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for he was kind of nervous saying it, but he's like, I'm looking for Chicano artists." I'm like,
I'm not
Chicano artist. I was like, okay. It's like Victor Ochoa, Mario Torero. I know.
Yeah.
It's like no. He's like, no, not like that. Like Mexican graffiti artist. And I was like, and at the time, I could probably count on one hand, like Mexican graffiti art. There wasn't a lot. It was crazy.
Right.
Think about it now, but there was just not a lot. So I was like confused with this question. I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" And I was like, "Well, maybe Chino might know. My friend Chino, who's Dice's older brother." But I was like, he's a white dude, but he's like a cholo, white cholo, So
it's kind of close.
Yeah. So that's how we connected with Tribal. He's like, I'm starting a clothing company.
And who is he? Who did he turn? Who is he?
Bobby Ruiz.
Bobby. It was Bobby.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. So I was like, cool. So after that, we just, I guess he was like, screw it. We'll just go with, the writers that are the top in San Diego at that time,
Whether they're Mexican or not.
Yeah, I think he just said forget it. I think he was trying to he
had a vision.
Really know what the angle he was going.
Right.
I believe. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because I don't think at that time no one knew with the street clothing brand what direction it would go.
Right.
So I think he even gave me his like a T-shirt tag maybe, and had a little like a Rasta dude on it or something.
Right.
Some tribal. It was really like
they're formulating, just throwing out ideas.
Yeah. It was kind of it was like it wasn't not street at all.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the tribal today.
And then we built a relationship. He started doing shows. We started doing shows with him. He was curating a lot of shows, which is freaking awesome. And then I think down the road, this is probably 91, he hit me up for a logo. So at the time, I was doing like knockoff ideas with my name, Saké One. I would do like Krylon logo or shit like that, with my pieces and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll do Krylon for Tribal. So I drew I think it was that small.
Uh-huh.
It was probably horrible. It was like not clean at all. So I did the Tribal logo as the Krylon logo. So yeah.
And then I think was it a can? Was it the can one?
No, it was just
It was like the oval,
with
right?
Tribal in it, yeah.
And then
I believe he used it.
Did they use that for
some of the shirts?
And then I think they incorporated it. I think maybe Zodak used that also. Tribal.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's cool.
I was teaching Zodak at that time.
Nice, cool, man. So that was back in the mid '80s.
No, early 90s.
90s, okay.
90s, yeah.
And was it around that time you were doing clothing designing, right? You did some.
Before that, 87. I was toiling with the idea of doing T-shirt designs. Actually, through my 87, around 88, Doze Green from Rocksteady Crew, he moved to Encinitas. There was an article in this magazine called Was it Herb? I think it was Herb. Yeah, I think it was Herb. URB. Anyways, and we're like, holy shit, like, what the hell? Tripping out, you know? This dude lives in San Diego. So somehow I figured out where he was.
That is kind of trippy, because he's big. He's like big RSC, Rocksteady guy, and then just plop up and...
I saw his stuff in '83 in the Rocksteady Crew videos.
Right.
I mean, I was like trying to emulate his characters and stuff like that. So I was, you know, super familiar with him, you know, with all Beat Street and Flashdance. Well, he wasn't in Flashdance, but Rocksteady Crew. Like, you know who he was. So he painted a store in Hillcrest, and I went there. I think it was probably some of my friends, probably Dies, maybe Zero, maybe Vapor, and they gave us his number. So that's how we connected with him, and he lived up in Encinitas. And at the time, he was working with, was it Bad Boy Club? It's like a surf.
Yeah, man, that's that old school.
Label. He did the.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't do that logo, but I think he improved it. But he was working for them, and he started a clothing company called Those Clothes. So that was like, ooh, like we could do this too, sort of.
Right.
So my boss at the time, we were window washing the high rises and windows around San Diego County. Me and Zero. He was like, hey, why don't you guys just make your own T-shirts? Like, I'll buy all the equipment. We'll print out of my garage.
Wow.
So that's what we did. But not knowing business or not knowing where it could go, or like, it just basically we just gave our shirts away and just didn't really, you know what I mean?
I've done that. Yeah.
We didn't know.
It's tough. Yeah.
I could have been like, oh, let's go to that store in Hillcrest and like see if they want to buy it. You know what I mean? It just, our brains was not.
We're the artists. Yeah. The business part's tough. Yeah. That's right. Because the other thing, I saw you do some stuff in Canada. I was kind of. Did you do some stuff in Canada? Or no stuff in Canada.
There's another. I don't know if his name's Saké or Saké. But there's
that might have been that.
And,
oh shit!
Yeah, I get it sometimes. Like I don't know. I used to get it. Like someone like oh, is this Saké from San Diego, or no, this is the original one from Canada, and this and that. And I'm like, they're kind of bashing me. You know what I mean? Because I do mostly pieces, you know. And I destroyed the city, so I have nothing to prove.
There's nothing. Yeah, that's all stupid.
But anyways, so I think there was some kind of like issue or beef or whatever. But the funny thing is, I read an article about the dude. He's like, oh yeah, I got my name in watching Videograph number 8. And guess who was in Videograph number 8? Me.
Settle that.
Yeah, I was painting up in LA with Slick and freaking Dream and Rocksteady Crew from San Diego, and I said, oh, you know, freaking Carl, the guy who was running the Videograph, you know, filmed us and all that, you know, tagged the whole Saké and like that. So I was like, okay.
That's funny, man.
Pretty funny, but whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, it's was 2021. Like, there's probably a Saké or a Saké in every freaking city. It's just, that's, you know, I'm surprised. Dude, I think there is them in a Dondi in Mexico or something like that.
Totally.
I mean, it's like
it's a big world.
Some names should be left alone, but
I think sometimes you just got to go harder if you want the name.
Yeah, but I just think it's just there's so much information out there that people just like, oh, they you know, they're learning or whatever, and they're like, oh, this would be a cool name, and they have no idea. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm okay with it.
Live and let live.
I talked to a Saké in Ireland, and like they're all over the world. It's like, but see, that's the importance of knowing your history, because if you know, and that's the blueprint in the 70s. They already figured that out, you know, with like Snake 1 or Snake 2, Snake 3, Snake 187. You know, like you got to change the number.
Number,
You know what I mean? If they put like Saké 2 or 3 or 4, I wouldn't give a shit. You know?
All the copes, cope 1, cope 2.
Sounds rich. But yeah,
that's what's up. What do you got?